Blessings, 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 my sports to the bone people. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you all for tuning in. Hope everybody's doing okay. Hope you're all having a productive day so far. Alright, so in this one, we're gonna talk some test cricket, Yes, man, red ball cricket, lovely test cricket. I've always said that test cricket is my format. This is what I fell in love with when I was a little boy coming up. So we're gonna talk about the last time West Indies and Bangladesh went up against each other in a test series. Gonna take a look at what happened. Plus, we're also gonna talk about the last test series that we played, Want to see if there is any continuation going on. Want to see if we have the same set of players or, how we fared in the last test series. Just to remind us, because, we have played a lot of T20s since, some CPL and all of them sort of things. So, we're going to talk some red ball cricket. Give a listening ear until the end. And as per usual, your comments are welcome in the comment section. Alright, so Bangladesh tour of the West Indies. Let's take a look at this right here. So the last thing that I'm seeing here, 2022, right? 2022, West Indies versus Bangladesh. It was a 2-match test series, and West Indies, they were able to win both series, so that was good. Let's take a look at what happened in the first test, and obviously I'm going to be zooming in mostly on our players and how they performed. While there are going to be guys that stood out in Bangladesh team, I am obviously going to be zooming in on our players. So in that first test match there, we won by 7 wickets. We won that first test match by 7 wickets. You understand? Scores in the game, Bangladesh 103 and 245. West Indies 265 and 88 for 3. You understand? 265 and 88 for 3. So we won that game there by 7 wickets. Let's just take a look at who did the bowling for us in that game. Kemar Roach was actually the player of the match. Right? Kemar Roach was the player of the match, taking 2 for 21 and 5 for 53. So he was a standout player in that game. 2 for 21 and 5 for 53 in the second innings. You understand? Now, let's just take a look at how our batting went. Craig Brathwaite, who is the captain, he made 94 in that game. 94 off 268 balls. You understand? Long and patient knock. Well, he's still in the team, but his form is no longer forming, if you want to put it that way. You understand? Nkrumah Bonner made 33 in that first game. Jermaine Blackwood made 63. None out of those two players, currently in the squad. John Campbell was also in the squad. Raymond Reefer, you understand? We still have guys like Jaden Seals, Alzari, Kemar Roach, Da Silva. Kyle Mears was also a member of that squad. He's not there anymore. You understand? So I'm just looking and I'm saying it's not a case where, guys would have aged out and, we are moving on. It's a case of people being inconsistent, so from 2022 to 2024, they are not a part of the team. You understand? We have guys that obviously they have taken to the T20 game, but the ones that I am mentioning here, it's because of performance why they are no longer there. People like Raymond Reefer. You understand? John Campbell, as we know, he got dropped and, he's banned and thing. Jermaine Blackwood, Bonner, as I said, Reefer, all of these guys, they were a part of that team, but, they aren't there anymore. So the continuation that we're looking for is probably not where we would like. So we won that first game comfortably by 7 wickets. Now the second test match that we played against Bangladesh in the same 2022, Kyle Mears was named the man of the match. You understand? Kyle Mears was actually named player of the match in that second game, and he was actually player of the series. So he was man of the match and player of the series, getting 153 runs overall and 6 wickets. Now in that final game there, he took 2 for 35 and also scored a century, right? 2 for 35 and scored a century of 146. You know, and as I said just now, Kyle Mayers is no longer in this test team, in this test squad. So, you know, really interesting. Looking at the bowling for us in the first innings, you know. Jaden Seals picked up 3 wickets and Alzari picked up 3 in that first game. You know, batting for, let me just give you the scores. West Indies actually scored 408 in this game. You know, we won the game by 10 wickets. I probably should have led with that. We won the game by 10 wickets. You know, Bangladesh scoring 234 and 186. You know, West Indies scoring 408 and 13 without loss. So we won that game there by 10 wickets. You know, and as I said earlier, Kyle Mayers was the man with the bat there, you know, scoring a magnificent century, 146 he got. You understand? And the same guys that I spoke about in the first test would have played the second test, you know, the Nkrumah Banner and the Jermaine Blackwood and them, but they are no longer a part of the unit. You know, so Kyle Mayers, as we saw, was the top scorer, player of the series in 2022, and this series was actually in June of 2022. You know, and a couple of years on, he's no longer in the team. So, you know, just wanted to point that out. Now, in terms of the last test series, you know, remember we played South Africa. You understand? South Africa, this was from the 7th to the 11th of August of this year. You understand? And then the second one was between the 15th and the 19th. We lost those games quite comfortably. You know, we lost those games. Well, not even lost those games. We drew the first game. You know, we drew the first game and lost the second one. So that is how it went in our last test series. You know, let me just take a look at some other players. You understand? That is when we saw the lights of Mikel Louis coming in, a very talented player that, you know, we want to see some more of him. Arthanez was in the squad, he's no longer there. You understand? Casey Carty is there, Hodge, you know, Louis. Jason Hola is out, still recovering from, I think it's a shoulder injury. Moti, as we know, isn't there. The bowlers basically the same. We still have Warwick and, you know, Seals, Roach, and so forth. So, you know, it's gonna be very interesting to see how we do against Bangladesh in these 2 games. We won the last series that we played against them 2-0. You know, the last test series that we played though against South Africa, we lost the first game and drew the second. We drew the first game and lost the second one. So obviously, you know, we will be looking to see if we can get back on track. Most of the players that are in this squad, you know, I see some people naming some names that should be a part of the squad, but if you ask them how much of those players outperform the guys that are in the squad here in the 4-day regional championship, they would be unable to say. You understand? I mean, Tevin Imlach has been in and around the squad for a little while because of how consistent he is where 4-day cricket is concerned. You understand? Obviously, there are still a few players that are getting runs that you would want to get a look in. But personally, I believe that this squad that we have here, you know, apart from the quote-unquote talented players that only want to play white ball format, you know, there aren't a lot of players out there that I would say we can really put in there right now. There are guys that are on the verge of getting through. You know, after, I can tell you, Justin Greaves deserves to be there. You know, he was doing his thing in South Africa, in Australia before he got injured. You understand? So I can understand him getting a look in. Hodge definitely has to be there. You understand? Might not get in the playing 11. Well, Hodge is going to get in the playing 11. Tevin Imlach might not get in the playing 11, but has to be there. You understand? So when you, apart from the usual suspects, you know, I see people saying Captain Craig Brathwaite needs to be dropped. So apart from those guys that have always been in the squad, you understand, the ones that were just brought in my opinion, they have to get a couple of games, get a couple look-ins, you know, to see if they will make it before we change. Mikel Louis, obviously, needs to be there. You understand? Hodge, as I said, Greaves, you know, so Casey Carty, the guys that are expected to do the batting, I have no problem. I have no problems, you know. We have a couple of guys coming through, like Django has been performing well. You understand? I've always said on here that I like Kevlin Anderson from Guyana. He's not bad at all. Savory, you know, but those guys, it would be nice to see them, you know, get a couple of centuries and then really push, because if we give the ones that are currently in the squad an opportunity to play a couple of games and they don't perform, then, you know, they will be the ones next in line. So all they need to do is just, you know, get some runs under their belt. You know, it's really tough to see how easy it is to get in our test team, but, you know, all they need to do is just score some runs, and I think they will get an opportunity. We have seen in the past where people would have scored runs and still can get a look in. Right now, I see a lot of people in the comment section saying it's bias business why a lot of guys not getting played. But if you look, especially where the batting is concerned, not a lot of these guys gonna get a look in over Casey Carty. Hodge, you know, since he has made his debut, has really shown you know, good stuff. Imlach, as I said, you know, over the last couple of years has done some work on the regional level. And then you have Mikel Louis, who has just came, you know, he just came through. Craig Brathwaite, you know, so that is like 5 or 6 of the specialist batsmen already. You understand, out of a squad of 15, and then you have the bowlers. So when people talking stuff, what they need to do is to, if they are gonna say who should be in the squad, they need to say who they should be replacing, so that we can look and say, well, that don't make no sense, because these players just got a chance to come in and, you know, they performed a little bit, you understand? Or if they haven't played as yet, we can say they are in the squad because of what they did on the regional level, you know. But some people will always say these guys should be in the squad. What you should do, if they should be in the squad, obviously other people should not be in there. So name the people that should not be in the squad, so we can look at it and say, wait, this is true or this is false. That is how we like to think over here. That is how on this platform, you know, we try to have conversations and reasoning, you know, to the point where we can say, yeah, this makes sense. But then again, this can just be me being biased, you know, as a lot of people would say. Big up on yourself, my people, and stay safe.